Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jason Tucker, and this is WPwatercooler's WPblab, episode number 98. 98, Bridget. We haven't even thought about what we're going to do for 100. We have to do something special for 100.
Keep doing awesome.
Tonight's topic is social media and your brand, Facebook. So we're starting a series. We're actually going to go through all of the various social media systems that are out there and networks and whatnot, and talk about each one of them and what you can do to kind of improve the types of things that you're doing. I'm also working on some guests, getting some guests on that specialize in these types of things as well, especially when we get into the LinkedIn one, which we've had a few folks that have talked about LinkedIn in the past, but I'm looking to see if we can get somebody different, and I have someone lined up, so we'll see what we can make happen there. So, before we introduce the people that aren't here right now, we don't have anyone to introduce. Bridget, just tell everybody about you, where they can find you, and all that fun stuff. 5-minute promotion. Have at it.
Okay, so my name is Bridget Willard, and I'm a marketing consultant and social media manager. You can find out about me, my philosophy, and all my strong opinions at bridgetwillard.com.
Wow, strong opinions even, huh?
Like, here's the thing. If you don't have opinions, do you even have experience?
Nope.
That's right. Everybody you know who is experienced at something has opinions. If it's the person you're going to hire to do social media is like, well, and if they say yes too many times, also run fast. If they'll do it for less than $25 an hour, which you shouldn't even be doing it by, oh my gosh, Jason, because somebody tried to hire me for an hourly basis, and I don't do social media by hour. I do it by month. So I looked up, okay, so in California, minimum wage is $11. So if you multiply that out and then add the $2 an hour, a 2-hour minimum for being on call, because I check, and any good social media manager will, check my notifications in my waking hours, you know. Sure. It's a global economy, right? So you add 2 hours minimum for being on call, over that, not even time and a half. You're up to $2,200 a month.
Yeah.
So the deal is just paying me to do it as a bundle, like a minimum wage. It's just ridiculous. And I just said to somebody, I'm like, you don't know what you're asking for. And that is why you're asking for somebody to do it by the hour.
You're blowing everybody's minds in the chat right now. They're just like, what? You get paid 11 something an hour? That's insane. We only get paid $7.25.
Well, California is super expensive to be here, and we have a lot of social programs, and those are also expensive. But it's not a politics show.
Hey, check it out. I'm Jason Tucker. You can find me over at Jason Tucker on Twitter. My website is jasontucker.blog. What's funny about this particular episode is we're going to be talking about Facebook, but we're not going to be talking about Facebook as like a personal account. So, like, for instance, my personal account, you could follow it if you want, but I pretty much post privately unless it has to do with this show. Then I post publicly. So if you were one of my followers, not friends, but followers on Facebook, you'd essentially see all the stuff that I do public facing, which is just WP Watercooler stuff.
Exactly.
So
we do need to talk a little bit about profile.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely talk about that, because I actually have a few friends and clients that have used Facebook profiles as their way of to their advantage. So it's pretty interesting to see how that sort of stuff works. So
what do you want to start with? What not to do?
What not to do?
I like defining by opposites.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so here's what not to do. Do not create a Facebook profile. That's normally concerned personal account. Do not create a Facebook profile that is not you as a real person. If you create a false Facebook profile to manage your Facebook page, those are two different things. There's a profile and a page, and Facebook takes down your false Facebook profile, you will no longer have access to your Facebook business page. You have to be a real person on Facebook or you violate the terms of service. Many people have had to take pictures of their driver's license to get it right. People who have been
it's happened to me.
Are in witness protection have trouble. If you don't want if you think it's easier to be like a fake brand and then you give everybody that password, no, that is not the way to do it. You are setting yourself up for failure, and you want your employees and your friends to participate in your business. So do not create a false Facebook profile in order to manage your Facebook business page.
Yeah.
Like, you could stop watching right now and already be way ahead. I literally see this all the time. And you know who the worst offenders are?
Who's that?
Churches. So
Oh,
let's just talk a little bit about privacy in the wake of data, right? So people do this and they think it's totally fine. But the reason why you don't want your business to be a profile instead of a page is because profiles have mutual of data viewing. So Jason Tucker and I are friends. I can see his pictures, he can see mine. I didn't put him on blocked or restricted, okay? Like, taking that out of consideration, Jason and I see each other's things. He has friends, I have friends, and we see each other's things. We see each other mutually tagged and all of that. So do you want a business, a church, a politician seeing that part of you when all you want is to follow them as a person? No. So
right.
being a page like you're supposed to is actually the way that Facebook has set up and designed in order to protect your privacy as a user. So for you, you are volunteering to violate your privacy and the privacy of all of your customers. Stop doing it. It's lazy, it's against terms of service, and it's a privacy issue. Love, Bridget.
Yep.
I report people that send me friend requests as businesses.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, there are some good things about having a publicly facing Facebook profile.
Oh, of course.
If you're just like, if you just took your Facebook profile and you somehow became famous or what have you, you can make another page that's just for you as a public figure. And you can say, I'm a public figure, follow my public figure page. This thing over here is just personal, just for me, and that's it.
But then there's people 5,000 friends.
Right? 5,000. That's the thing. That's a limit.
Not a lot of people, though. Come on. That's way bigger than that number.
But when you get when it's something big hits, and I've seen it happen.
Of course.
Somebody's personal profile just blows up and you're like, oh my gosh, I just have 4,999 people. What the heck am I going to do? And then that 5,000th hits and they're like, oh crap, I can't even like they go on a date and they want to like add the person to their thing. And they're like, I have to remove you. Like, I don't know, that's a whole nother kind of situation. But those are the types of folks, like, for instance, you just mentioned like churches earlier. If you're a pastor or some type of public figure within the church, even the receptionist, those types of folks will end up getting a lot of followers. Yep. And, if they're going to be followers, that's fine. Let them follow all they want. You don't have to be mutual friends. They can just follow you and everything's fine there if you allow it.
Wait, that's a good tip. A lot of people don't know this, Jason. You can allow people to follow your personal profile.
Yep. Which is super smart if you're doing public facing stuff, and you essentially go into Facebook and you say, I'm going to write my post, and you click the little friends thing on the bottom and you say public. All those people are going to be able to see that. And like I was saying earlier, if you were to follow me on Facebook, I'm not saying you should because I'm really boring on the public side of things. Following me would only give you access to the things that are publicly facing. But it also allows you to tag me and stuff. So that makes it a little bit of an interesting thing as well. So if you were to tag me into something, so like you mentioned me like, hey, I'm watching Jason and Bridget talk on, WPblab, and then tagged our names in it. That's cool because that means I get to see that you tagged me and all that sort of stuff. You can also set up
with a caveat, like, stop tagging stuff to make sure I see it.
Oh yeah, that's awful. Yeah.
I don't want to put my 5 most beautiful pictures. I don't want to be in any black and white photo challenge. Stop. Okay, but that we're derailing. Okay, so you do need a Facebook profile. It should be you. You have a business, or you're a public figure, you're a blogger, you're in the WordPress world, you know, you have a company, like let's talk to our people. You know, our people have agencies, freelancers, or designers. They have a side hustle that they want it to be their hustle, which is what You Too Could Be a Guru was. It was a side hustle, and now it's my non-side hustle. It's the whole hustle. It's the main hustle. I don't know. It's still a hustle. The
whole
hustle has
enchilada
not
hustle.
stopped. So you want it. You have 6 different types of pages.
Yeah. And you can operate as the page as well. So if you go to the upper right hand side in Facebook and click on the little down arrow up there, you can select between the different pages that you're that you have access to as an admin or some type of administrator on there. And then from there, you can use Facebook as you are that particular account and be able to manage it.
This is what people make the biggest mistake on. They don't do that. So it used to be one of my friends that does this the best is Robert Nissenbaum from Tactical Social Media. He kills it. He doesn't even post that much on his Facebook page as much as he interacts with other pages as a page. And when I mean interact, he'll like write 3 or 4 sentences on everything. So one of the tricks you can do is, oh shoot, let me make sure this is right. Facebook.com/pages/feed. Yeah, this is what I do. So I'll go to facebook.com/pages/feed. And I will, oops, I want to put this in the chat, people. So, and then all I see are the pages I've liked. So when I like things as my page, because you can like as your page, we're going a little out of order. We have, you know, we'll have links in the show notes on how to create a page, but you can choose, as Jason said, there'll be a little in this side, it'll say liking and commenting as Bridget Willard, and there'll be a little gray triangle, and then you click it down and it will show you all the pages you can be. And so you choose the one you want to be, and then you comment. So that is a really great way of getting exposure to your brand from other brands. And so few brands do this that you really, really stand out. I mean, actually, we could have had Robert on this show because he has a ridiculous amount of data on how much business he's gotten from just doing this. But yeah, you know, that's that we can have that as another using data to justify what you learn to be as a normal human being.
Definitely.
I mean, I thought, think about it. Like, what did my mom teach you? Please and thank you. Like, why is that so hard? But that's for sure a really good tip. So if you want to create a page, you can make as many pages as you want. Facebook.com/pages/create. And what you need a couple things. You need a square version of your logo, 500 by 500, and you need a cover photo, 851 by 315. It's a bizarre size, but you know what? This is where Canva.com comes in handy, Jason, because they have all these things already pre-templated for you. So if you don't have anything, it doesn't matter. Like I did one for somebody that I'm managing Toyo parts only. I didn't have anything from the business. So guess what? I went to Unsplash, found a Toyota, put it in there, boom. It doesn't matter. Like it's something for now. And here's one of my philosophies, Jason. Done is better than perfect. Definitely.
Our friends over at Buffer also have another great thing called Pablo. You can go to pablo.buffer.com. Yes. And what that thing will do is you just throw a graphic at it. Like you're like, I don't know how to do anything. I barely know how to use a computer. And you just like drag your file in there and you say, here's my size, make me a thing. And it just spits out a size for you. It's like all ready to go. Here's your header, here's your footer, here's your whatever the thing is, depending on the social network. And it'll just do it for you.
Pablo in a long time. What is that?
Pablo is the thing that it'll create the size for you, and then you put the graphics in there with the text and stuff, and it'll do
Pablo.buffer.com.
Yeah, pablo.buffer.com.
I like Buffer as a brand, as a company, you know. I like their philosophy. But okay, here's the thing about I just want to mention something else. Oops, did I lose you? What did I just do? I touched something. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's happening. I don't know I don't know what I did. That's why I shouldn't have touched the.
No, you didn't touch anything. I went to that pablo.buffalo.com and then it tried to log in Facebook and then it dropped me out.
Oh, that's awesome. But is the show still going?
Yeah, show's still going.
That's crazy. Okay, so anyway, so when you use images in your blogs, what you're going to share on your Facebook page, your business page. When we say Facebook page, we mean business page. You want to make sure that there's less than 20% of the area is text. If you plan on boosting or advertising or targeting any of those ads. And it's a weird Facebook thing. It's super annoying. Nobody else cares. But also make sure your images are 1200 by 628. That's their specs.
Yep.
And they're like the Google of social media. Their open graph data rules everybody else. So just 1200 by 628. And again, you can use lots of tools to make that. But if you want to just put a picture or something, even video, even if you're, what's it called? Like the still the video lands on, the like.
Like the thumbnail.
Thumbnail, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
If that thumbnail has more than 20%, Facebook will let you spend money, but they won't serve it. So there's no point in doing that. So Facebook pages, one of the main benefits, besides being able to advertise, besides giving your fans and friends privacy that they deserve on Facebook, is this ability to advertise and get insights. So you get analytics from that. And it's really important to have analytics because there's always going to be some nerd who wants to look at data. Now, for me, I'm the anti-data person because
I'm all about the data.
Okay, so here's so Mark Twain said lies, damn lies, and statistics, right? Data without context means nothing. So let me tell you about this travel agency. So I have a part-time job at a travel agency. They're sort of my client, whatever you want to call it. So I've been helping her. She used to get all of her leads from Yelp, and she knew because she has a special phone number for Yelp. Okay? She had a website, but it was crap. It was like a static 1 to 5 page thing. She signed up from some company that builds her content and posts on Facebook. So, and then we started her an Instagram page. That's a company Instagram, right? So she says to me in a meeting, I'm looking at Google Analytics. First of all, 50% of her traffic comes from search, and they're searching for trip designs. Another 30% comes from direct traffic, which means, yay, 11 years of telling everybody your trip designs worked because they're just typing in. But from social, it's heavily Facebook. And she goes, that doesn't make any sense. And why are my Yelp leads dropped so much? So I explained it to her this way. I said, okay, we're out in the parking lot. We're all talking. Somebody starts shouting, but it's better to say somebody starts singing. That's the only person you hear, so you know their voice. Well, now you diversify your marketing strategy. So now you only had Yelp before. Now you have a Instagram. You have a website that has content on it, and you're pushing to Facebook. So now you have a choir. So she goes, but I don't understand why they're not getting Yelp. I go, we are outperforming Yelp in the rankings. And she still didn't understand it. And so I said, okay, let's go into an incognito browser. Let's search for ourselves. Oh, look, it's our website. Oh, look, it's the address from the map. And there's a phone number. And then you get to Yelp and it's a phone number. What are you going to do? You're going to call. You're just going to call the phone number. You're not going to call the Yelp number. You're not going to be on Yelp because that's what happens. So mind you that looking at the data matters, but it doesn't necessarily mean that Yelp doesn't work anymore. It just means we have other things working too. So the context of the data matters. And that's why it's good. You have Google Analytics, so you'll see what social traffic comes to your website from your Facebook business page. But your business page also has its own analytics that compare to itself, because data without context is meaningless. So that's what's so powerful about Facebook. And I think that so many people really don't spend the time interacting. They spend the time looking at data. I think it's a waste of time. I'll just go on record saying that. Look and go, oh, okay, that's interesting. This video works better. I'll try more video. But that's like 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Don't spend more than 10 minutes looking at your data, because you'll get down this black hole. Jason, it's so easy to go down a black hole. And then have you posted anything on your page? No. Did you create any content? No. But it's good to see. You could generally see, because they have graphs and histograms. You'll see, oh, okay, this live video that we did worked. So you're the video king. Let's talk about live video on Facebook.
Yeah. So as you can tell, you are not watching this on Facebook. And you're not watching this on Facebook for a couple reasons. So for one, we use Google Hangout just as our way of being able to do this. Google Hangout and Google and Facebook essentially are competitors in this space, doing live video. So what they do is they don't have a way to make Google Hangouts, which they call YouTube Live, because it's the way that the whole online video streaming part works. That part does not talk to Facebook in any way. You can embed the video on YouTube or anything like that, but it's not going to play live, and it's not going to notify you that we're playing live. If you wanted to do something like that, you use something like Zoom, and Zoom would allow you to then broadcast out to multiple places. So for instance, you could post it out to, if I remember correctly, to Twitter, as well as to Facebook, as well as to just Zoom, itself. So you can kind of play with those things to kind of figure out how this works. You can also use like a third party tool that would talk directly to each one of those different endpoints, Facebook, Twitter, any of those ones that were out there. You can stream out to those. Live stream is another one that does the exact same thing. You can stream straight to live stream and then go out to these different places. Now, when it comes to Facebook itself, Facebook gives you a couple different ways to do it. One is that you can use your phone. You can load up a Facebook and say, I want to go live. You hit the little live button and you're streaming live. If you wanted to do an interview show, which Bridget and I have done in the past, the second anything comes out, we're like, Bridget, I need 10 minutes of your time. We got to play with this for a minute. So, we spun it up, had a video going. It splits it up somehow on the screen, and you can kind of flip and flop between the way that it's set up. And then you can stream live. What's nice about it doing that on Facebook is that you can, people can interact with you on Facebook. They can share it on Facebook. They can do all those things on Facebook while it's streaming live.
But so the other thing is, like, it shows you like Periscope used to.
Right. With all the chat and everything like that.
You could see who it is and address their questions.
Exactly. Which is awesome. I mean, that's like, I would love to be able to do that here. The thing is that I really like the simplicity of being able to, on my side of it, I'm going to be, a little bit self-centered here, in that I want to make sure that the way my experience is in interacting with this is more important than the experience that the person's going to be watching the video.
Not just that, but like, we're not on the YouTube version of the show, but YouTube's the second largest search engine. Okay, so we're going to be on YouTube.
Yep.
But for extra things, like say we were at a conference and we're like doing an interview really quick with somebody that we just want to get out there,
Right.
Or I've done that to supplement my video, where I'll go, hey, I have 20 minutes. I'll answer any question you have. And people will jump on there, and because you'll get a notification that the page is live. And what's cool is when it plays back, the comments are there. The comments scroll with the timestamp.
So while you're on Facebook, and if you click on the live button there, it gives you two options at the top. The first option is camera, which is the one that just shows up by default. And then the second one is connect. And if you were to click on connect, connect makes it so that it uses the RTMP protocol to make a piece of software talk to Facebook. So Facebook acts as the endpoint or the thing that you're going to be connecting to, and the software that you're using will talk directly to Facebook and be able to stream it out. So that's something like Zoom or live stream or any of those sorts of products, as well as software you can run on your computer to be able to do this as well. Boinks TV was one that I used to use many moons ago. I don't even know if they exist anymore, but there's a couple other different companies that are out there that do this. But when you hit live, like for instance, if you ever heard of Twitch does this exact same thing. You can use a piece of software to be able to, like XCam or something like that, to kind of have that playing, recording your screen or whatever, and then pushing it out live to Facebook. So while you're on there, either doing it with a camera or with the Connects setup, over on the right-hand side, you have post and you have settings. When you're in post, you can pretty much act like you're going to post onto Facebook. You can post as your timeline, a group, an event, or share it on a page as you manage. So you could do any of those to kind of put out, tell people, hey, we're going to be recording right now. The other thing that's nice on here is you can schedule that video. So you could say, like, I'm going to get all these things set up. I've already done all the work. I've already tagged all the people. I've already done all the things. I'm going to set it all up and I'm going to hit schedule. And when you schedule it, you can come back to this later and then you can actually start playing. What's nice about that is it'll notify the people that have said that they want to watch this video, and you'll be able to watch it. I know we're not talking about YouTube, but YouTube also has the same sort of thing with notifications. There's a little bell. You can click on the bell that's below the video, and then when we go live, you'll be able to watch our video live, and it'll actually get notified on your mobile device if you're logged into that account. Last thing is if you wanted to do a 360 video or any type of gaming stuff, there's a thing on there so you can be able to use your 360 camera to do that, or to be able to specify what game that you're playing. That's Facebook Live.
Well, also here's some more cool stuff. So you can embed it on your WordPress blog. People put your content on your WordPress blog. Blog is not a 4-letter word. It is, but it's not the 4-letter word. So if you go on the video and you right click on it, it will say view video URL. And then you could go to iframely.com. I think it's iframely.
Yeah, you don't have to do that though.
Well,
it'll just embed it directly.
Stuff. Well, I don't think it supports OEmbed. Maybe it does.
Last time I checked, yeah.
I don't know. But that's what I've been doing, is iframely.com. And then you can put it there. So like when I did the Facebook Live for Women Who WP on my tour of Gutenberg, then I included that. And also your phone lets you do it in portrait mode now. So
which is nice.
I mean, in landscape, sorry. Instead
landscape
of portrait.
Mode, yeah.
I mean, it's better for like when you embed it on your blog. Like, so I gave the presentation on the tour of Gutenberg, and then I put my slides in there from slideshare.net, put the video in there. So that's nice that you can do that. But also after so when you're executing, so on your phone, if you're doing this in the Facebook Pages app, it will ask you after you're done, and you say finish recording, it'll ask you if you want to keep it. So you want to say yes, keep, yes, post. But after that, you can do is you can boost it. So you could throw some money at it. We did that we did that when Samantha Zanget talked about job costing at Women Who WP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we, chose, this is what's so great about Facebook. This is what people don't like, but this is also what's so great about it. Listen, people, there's no privacy on the internet. If you don't want to be known, then go live with the Amish. Okay, so I'm sorry, it's controversial, but it's also true. Like, that's the way it is. Also, so here's the thing. You could say, I want $20. I want this to go to people who like WordPress. And you could say like any other interest, So I had a deal for the travel agency for Tahiti. So people within 10 miles or 20 miles because it was flying from LAX. So people within 40 miles from Mission Viejo who like Tahiti and Hawaii and Like sometimes you could pick a brand to get people who have more money, like Rolex.
Right.
You know, and so you could target that. So you could say, I want people, like, say you're a forum, and you're a new forum, and you want to send it to everybody who likes Gravity forums, because that's your competitor, right? So a big brand, or you want to do something that you could compete with. You know, Gary Vaynerchuk's talked about it for a long time, but you could test them out. You could just create a bunch of different audiences and test it out. But you just don't want your thumbnail to have more than 20%. You know, just let it be your face. I know you don't like your face. Nobody likes their face. But the thing is, and this is why video is so powerful, and images, we are human beings. And as human beings, we're social animals. We will always interact with other people's faces. So put images of you and your team doing your thing on your Facebook page. People relate to you as people. And we do business with people that I know my audience is all saying it. Yes, I can hear you. No, like, and trust. Okay, so
right?
We say it so much, we forget how true it is, Jason. I mean,
totally
I just
true.
asked a client, I go, I want to post this tweet about your product. Can you send me a photo? Well, I don't take pictures.
Say what now?
You're killing me, Larry. You are killing me. Take pictures. Goodness. Nobody is boring. I'll tell you who's boring. Somebody who doesn't have anything out on the internet. People want to know about you. They're interested in what you're doing. Everybody has an expertise. Everybody has a sphere of influence. And you have your business, you have clients, you know what you're doing. You've been doing this for how many years now? You know your niche. Like, Amy Hall is great at email marketing, but she doesn't specialize in constant contact. She specializes in MailChimp. You see what I'm saying? So there's, maybe there's a constant contact expert. She can refer to those people. She doesn't want to do constant contact. It's a pain in the ass or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So like everybody has a niche, and you can use your Facebook advertising to speak to the people that are in the same niche.
Yeah.
Everyone, James thought I was going to say everyone has a spirit animal, and they do. And James's spirit animal is the WAPU.
Definitely. I wanted to mention a couple more things regarding video real quick. So video is, Mark Zuckerberg was saying that video is the future of YouTube. They're going to be doing tons of stuff with video. If you've created a video, say like, for instance, us, like we could take this particular video here, and when we're done with it, I can go into YouTube and go into the creator area of YouTube, look at all my videos that are in there, and then click a little down arrow there that says download, and I could download the video from YouTube. You don't have to run any special software. From you don't Facebook. Have to do, and just download it straight from YouTube. Then you can go on
YouTube or Facebook.
On YouTube.
On YouTube, okay.
And then go on Facebook and upload that video to Facebook. You could also do the other way around. So you can go on Facebook and you could download the video because you own the video, so you have access to download it. So you could download the video. So for instance, let's say we're using Zoom here and we were, broadcasting this onto Facebook. When I'm done, I go on Facebook, download that video, go over to YouTube, and then upload the video. You can also do this for Twitter. You can use this for Instagram. You could do any of these sorts of things of taking the video and then using it elsewhere. We don't do that here. It's definitely something we could do, and I'll probably end up doing it for this particular episode just because we've mentioned it. But the idea is I could take a video from another place and upload it to Facebook, do all the tagging, do all the stuff, and then it'll be natively be able to play within that thing. The only thing about that is that if it was a live content that you recorded elsewhere, you're not going to get that that kind of like FOMO type of thing with Facebook video where you're like, oh no, what's happening? I want to be able to watch that too, and I want to watch it live. Like I have people all the time tell me, man, I really wish that I could have watched your episode of WPblab live. And I'm like, aside from the great chat room that we have and being able to watch our awesome people that actually take our notes and do everything, share on Sherry. You're watching the video. I mean, you don't know that. I mean, it's time shifted, sure, but it's not like some major things happening and I'm reporting on it. I mean, this is evergreen-ish content.
What's that? This just came in.
Right? California had another earthquake. Literally,
I did not even feel that. And I feel things over 5 points, but whatever. Anyway.
But so those sorts of things. So you miss that FOMO type of piece, even if it was already live, and it'll say like they were live at this time. You're like, oh, what happened live? I don't know, for whatever reason, the live thing kind of triggers this FOMO effect where you're just like, I don't want to have this fear of missing out. I definitely want to be able to watch this and watch it live. Because
people like interacting with their friends.
Right.
And on Facebook Live, I'll say, Jason Tucker is watching. Oh, Jason Tucker and 4 other friends are watching. And then you're like, whoa. Well, it's like if E.F. Hutton speaks, everyone listens. It's like if Jason Tucker is watching this, then I'm going to watch it, right? Unless it's something that about like, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. But there's some type of trick to that, in that there's no real good way of doing it other than to stream it live and be able to have somebody watch it live.
I'll tell you what not to do. Don't stream live, have a chat room, and then ignore them.
Right?
You might as well just record to yourself and make a webinar, like GoToWebinar. Which I hate webinars with all my heart. I would look past my screen and imagine an audience and say, hey, everybody, now we're going to learn how to use Twitter. Because I like, even just though it's just you and me face-wise, you and me and Sherry and Cheryl and James and Sherry Sparks and Amy, and they're all in there, and it feels like this is the social part. This is why people go to bars. This is why people have hobbies. You're never going to get rid of the fact that our brains are wired for social interaction. And for a brand to really take advantage of Facebook's pages, they need to interact. When you post something on your Facebook page and somebody writes a comment, the very least that you could do is like it. And I double dog dare you to say, thank you. Because what will happen is they will feel rewarded and just intrinsically, then they will have an emotional connection to you that will build up what's called affinity. And if they see your brand and they like it and you interact with them, then they are going to become loyal. Affinity leads to loyalty. Loyalty leads to sales. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to do influencer marketing. Oh, I have so many words.
That's so much dead air.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Like, I know, but like people know that I just think there's a lot of it that's
put your head close to the microphone so we can hear it.
Influencer marketing is kind of BS. Make your own influencers.
I wanted to hear your brain think right there.
My brain is like, my brain is editing. But I tweeted out today because I was thinking, is it affinity or fear?
Right.
Because you don't want your brand associated with fear. Like if I don't kiss up to this person, then there's going to be retribution. Or if I don't do what they want, then there's going to be back talk, blackballing in an industry, or all kinds of stuff. So that kind of influencer marketing, that'd be like black hat. But if you like genuinely treat your people well, like my Zip shoes, I love those people. I mean, I still wear their shoes. And they've always been good to me. Every once in a while, they'll like my Instagram posts and comment. And I have a warm feeling about that, And it's just me, but they would give me shoes because they knew I was always talking about them and demonstrating them. So you can reach out to maybe like the super skinny chick who looks good in a bikini because you think that's your demo. But really, if you create your own influencers, like stop chasing the big names, make your own big names. And you could do that with the people that are already your super fans who are spending the time to comment on your Facebook posts. And then you could triple dog dare is to go to their page and find something you can say something nice about. And then say it. Don't be, it's like Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That should be my tool trick of the week. But it just, don't like BS. Don't say something BS. Say something you mean, but it might take a second to figure out what that is. But you'd be like, oh, this is a really interesting approach. I'm going to think about this. That's legit, right?
Yeah.
You know, I used to get kind of ridiculed for saying, that's awesome. That's great. You know what? Maybe it's fluff content. I have a whole blog post coming out about people talking about communications, soft skills is hot air, but I gotta like stop being angry before I write about it. But anyway, like that kind of stuff, it doesn't seem like it's valuable until you see people in person. Like, you're so nice. I don't know why people think I'm so nice. I'm known for being smart ass. Well, guess what? Because I'm nice online, and I'm nice to them when I see them in person, unless they ask me the truth, and then I tell them, you know.
I have a few more things about video on Facebook.
Yes.
So one of the things you mentioned earlier regarding chat and having multiple chat windows. So it's almost as if you took the Facebook comment system, Discuss, and WordPress comment system, and all threw them onto the same page. These people will never see each other in their own environments unless they go to the page that has all three of them on the same page. So, for instance, and a good example of this would be Zoom. So if you were using Zoom as a way of broadcasting your video out to both Facebook, Twitter, and say Livestream, so all three of those platforms, Livestream has its own chat, Twitter has its own chat as a discussion of it, and then Facebook has its own chat. If you're not looking at any of those and you're just broadcasting out, no one's going to interact with you because you're not interacting with them. So a tip for that is like, let's say that it's like Fashion Week or something, and you're at an event and you have a camera out and you have a live rig and you have all this stuff set up. Get your social media managers to get on each one of those social media accounts as your account, but log into each one of those different things and man each one of those chat rooms. It allows it so that those people can talk to each other. They could even have another window open. So if somebody mentions, like, you know, a person walks by in the background, the other people won't miss it. You could be that intermediary between those different chat rooms to be able to kind of say, hey, we just noticed this, and hey, we just noticed that. So using those folks as a way to be able to do that. And what's nice about it is you actually don't have to have those people on site there. They can actually be at home chatting. So for instance, you know, you have James, who we don't see James. James doesn't come out here and sit next to us while we're recording this stuff, but he's in the chat room interacting, and he's watching the same video that everybody else is watching. So having those types of people be able to do these things. Same with like Cheryl and Sherry. They're in there, you know, writing our show notes while we're talking. They don't have to be in the same place, but they can still kind of be those people that would help interact. Last thing is that Facebook also does transcription. So you could actually do closed captioning while you're streaming live. And there's a API endpoint that you can connect to using the transcription software that the transcriber that you'd be hiring would do. Just like I was saying earlier about having these people not actually be on site, you can actually hire a transcriber to watch the video live while you're streaming and have them transcribe. Churches do this. So churches, if you have a church who they're already transcribing this stuff and having it show up on the screen as a closed captioning, you can have that also be sent over to the videos for each of those different services that you're using. So if you're using Livestream, it does the same thing. YouTube does the same thing, as well as Facebook Live.
So pretty much, to sum up the first 45 minutes, if you made it this far, first of all, high five. And you want to have a Facebook profile that's real. You want to create a business page. You want to have all the about filled out, your website, your hours, allow reviews. You want to have the cover photo 851 by 315. You want to post things from your blog. You want to use the, events if you need to. If you're having events, post things 2 weeks ahead. You're going to want to also use photos, tag the people in the photos that are part of your organization. Use that. Use that nostalgia. Use Throwback Thursday. Don't use hashtags. Nobody on Facebook uses hashtags. You just look like you're cross-posting. I forgot to say that. And then use Facebook Live. Facebook Live is a powerful, powerful tool, and you can always embed that later on your blog. if you have more questions as we go through, put them in the comments. You know, I love super specific questions because then I can give super specific advice. I know this network is famous for it depends as an answer. I think I would rather give you a real answer. But
Definitely.
basically, no matter what you're doing on social media, Facebook pages, interact, 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 engage, engage, engage. Put it in your calendar if you have to. 10 minutes or 5 minutes in the morning, or you could probably do you're sick of work around 4:30, or you could do like 1 p.m. Put in your calendar 10 minutes. Go check Facebook notifications. Don't make them push to your phone if you're not going to pay attention to them. Instead, put it in your calendar. Now, for me, I don't have any push notifications for Facebook because I don't want them then. I want them when I want them. I don't want my phone controlling my life. I already have enough push things with Slack and text messages. So use it as part of your workflow. It is part of your business. You are building an audience. It's your responsibility to take care of it. Tool or tip of the week.
Yes.
I'm finally like super prepared. I learned this from Jen Miller, and I started using it last year, and then I stopped. But then once I started my business, I'm like all in. FreshBooks. Okay.
Yeah.
FreshBooks is the bomb. And not just for accepting payment, which is obviously super convenient. There's a there's a fee, whatever. You want people to pay you with a check. That's fine. You save $2. I don't care. I don't have time for that crap. But FreshBooks, their pricing is like it has I don't have an affiliate plan yet or whatever, but you can have a 30-day free trial, freshbooks.com.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody's asking FreshBooks instead of QuickBooks. It's like you get $15 a month. It's 5 clients, 50 clients for $25. That's where I am. Here's the thing that I love. It remembers. So when I type an estimate, and even if I change my prices or whatever, or change the wording of a line item, it remembers every line item. So if I'm on the phone with a client and they're saying, oh, I want the Twitter Pro package. So I start a new estimate. I put the client in there. They go, line item, Twitter Pro. Oh, there it is. With the price, with the description. Oh, what else do you want? Oh, nothing else. Oh, I'm going to give this person a 25% discount. Negative 25. Send. Done. And so I don't if you systemize your line items, if you have anything like that, once you type them in once, you don't have to sit there and go, I'm going to type in all my line. Just do it as you do it. And then it remembers you. And you can even put a line item in I was charging whatever, $75 for a blog, but then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to add a Canva image, so it's be 100, and there's be 4 of them a month. No, I'll just make it 400 for blogging for the whole month. I went, monthly blogging plan once a week. And then I still have the one I had before, and now I have a new one. I love FreshBooks so hard.
Can I tag onto that, Bridget?
Yes.
Okay, so this is going to blow your mind. And I was doing this back when I was a freelancer, and it was pretty dang awesome because I was a FreshBooks user as well. I use Gravity Forms. Gravity Forms has a Facebook add-on now, or not Facebook, a FreshBooks add-on. Now, what's nice about that is you can make it build an estimate based off of fields that somebody would fill out on your form. So they could say I want to have a website, but I also want my website to be maintained. And I also want to have a new graphic. And I also want to have social media stuff. And all those line items have $ attached to them. Well, those $ can then get added into as an estimate. And the estimate is sitting within FreshBooks waiting to go. So you can go in there and say, I'm going to send off the estimate.
That's awesome.
And you're done. You didn't have to copy and paste. You didn't have to do any of those things. And you can be as detailed as you were saying earlier, putting in all those little pieces within Gravity Forms to have it show up in FreshBooks.
You can make a recurring invoice. I just copy mine. I say, new invoice, boom, send. It shows you, okay, because I used to be in collections. That's how I met my husband and fell in love, was writing collection notes to clients, business to business collections. I do it on the side. That's like another side hustle. If you guys aren't getting money, you contact me. I do it for 35%. Anyway, so I forgot I do that as a side hustle. So, but anyway, it tells you. so-and-so viewed this invoice on this date at this time. And you know if they're full of crap. And they're like, oh, I didn't see it. Oh, really?
Because you clicked on the link.
So would you like me to send it to you again?
Now, what's nice about FreshBooks as well is that you can also click on a link and have it just with one click, send a letter in the mail that's in an envelope that's ready to go with the same link on there. So if it says on the bottom, it's like, oh, you don't want it. You want to save a tree and not print out a check and send me a check. You can type in this URL and then be able to do it. And if they do that, you now know that they've actually looked at it twice, the time that they open up the envelope and the time that they're actually looking at it on the website. So all things go back to that tracking link.
I freaking love it. And like, there's no better software for an agency or a freelancer. I mean, and then I have it hooked up with my Chase account. So not everything is write-offable, but like once a month or twice a month, I sit there and I go, delete, delete, delete. No, this is web services. No, this is billable, blah, 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 blah. And if you want to be super specific, you go, this goes to this client, this goes to that. But I know exactly if I'm making money or not. So guess what? Tax time, boom, print out your expenses. Profit and loss, print it out. No problem. It's so, I can't even... From my accounting background, I love FreshBooks so much. I wish that I had it when I was in construction. We had some, custom-made CMS that was just this. It was a bear. It was a bear like Mass 90 for. Do you remember Mass 90 for Mac? Okay, so like I started with Mass 90, and then I went to some Fox Pro custom thing, and then I went to this FileMaker Pro custom thing, and you're just like, this thing is a bunch of piece of crap. You get the SaaS thing for whatever. Even the highest one, Jason, is only $50 a month. How much time you save?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Like, I know that they take you can even connect your Stripe. I connected my Stripe. Their default payment gateways we pay. It's fine. Everybody takes their 2.9% and 30 cents, whatever. It's the cost of doing business. But when they put that, they put it in your expenses that is a fee.
That's awesome.
I can't even tell you how hard I love FreshBooks. And one day I will be an affiliate and I'll throw my link out. But Jen Miller you can also do it on your phone. So.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I love it. Super love it.
Awesome. Here's mine. So I had a friend text me recently, and I'm an IT person at a church, so people hit me up all the time for things. And she's a photographer and she does video stuff as well. And she's like, I have all these photos and videos on this camera, on this SD card. I'm on a Mac. I stuck the SD card in and it can't read it. I know my files are on there, but I can't read the SD card. I don't know what's wrong with this SD card, but something died on it. All these things don't last forever. I mean, none of these things last forever at all. So she calls me up and she says, what do I use? And so I was like, well, the tool that I've been using for a long time is one called Disk Drill. And Disk Drill, you can go over to their website to go take a look at that. It's from cleverfiles.com. They have a free version of it that lets you do some basic stuff to kind of preview to figure out is it actually going to be able to recover anything. Their pro version is $89, unfortunately. But $89, you're like, geez, man, that's a lot of money. Why would I want to spend $89 to be able to do this? Well, and I've gone back to this app over and over and over again. This app is part of that set app collection. And if you go over to WPwatercooler.com/setapp, you can get a discount on being able to purchase that. And I've set that up for you guys, so you can go take a look at that there. But what's nice about setapp and this particular Disk Drill app is that it'll scan your SD card and it'll tell you what things it can actually recover. And when it can recover it, it'll let you recover them. And if there's any way that the file is corrupt, but like the file name gets messed up or something like that, you can still use that as a way to be able to access those files and grab the little small pieces of it that are actually still accessible. I will say one thing about SD cards or anything like this, either SD cards or CF cards or any of this sort of thing, is that even the ones that come in converters, even like the little converter that has a little converter hole in it for like the smaller SD cards, these things do not last forever at all. And if you stick the card inside your camera to try to see if you can look at those photos, sometimes the camera starts writing stuff to this thing. And when it writes to it, guess what? It's overwriting the sectors that are on this of the data that's on there. So whatever you do, take it out, pull this there's a little thing on the top here that you can slide across.
Oh, like on a floppy disk.
Like on a floppy disk. Pull that off to the side so it can't be written to. Stick it back into the computer. And if your computer doesn't have a way of being able to look at it, go buy a little adapter and you can plug those. I have one of those laying around here too. But get the little adapter, plug that into your computer. You can't write to it. And you'll be able to use that disk drill to be able to pull that down. Dude, so like I said, awesome. Setup is nice because you're not having to pay that crazy amount of money for that software, because they've hooked it up and made it so that you paying per month for being able to get these apps that I keep talking about every single month. Those are the types of ways you'll be able to save and not have to spend a whole bunch of extra money, and you can have this like one payment that you're making to be able to access all those apps.
So that's what you meant when you said it's Netflix for apps.
It's Netflix for apps. Yeah. So instead of spending the $89 to be able to do the recovery and all that stuff for one user up to 3 different Macs to have that software running on there, you can just download Setup, pay for that monthly subscription for it, and then you'll have access to Drill Disk.
Oh, that's cool.
As well as other stuff that I've talked about in the past. Like, for instance, I talked about one piece of software that's on here called Dropshare. I've also talked about Mosaic, being able to move stuff around the screens and everything. And I think I talked about Paste, if I remember correctly, a couple weeks back. But there's just all these different things that are mind mapping softwares and all sorts of crazy stuff. One of them that I used I talked about a couple, probably about 20 or 30 episodes back, is one called Trip Mode.
Yeah, Trip Mode.
Yeah, that's when you go to to WordCamp Europe and you've tethered your phone to your computer and you need to do that one special thing, and you don't want your computer to go like, oh, let me go download every single Apple update that's available to me. No. Just hit Trip Mode and you won't have to do that at all.
I am on Sprint and it's truly wireless. Although I had a nightmare last night. Then I went to Belgrade and forgot to tell Sprint.
Uh-oh.
But no, I went to Paris. I had no problem. I didn't have to be on Wi-Fi or anything. My data.
Nice.
I really have unlimited. But no, you guys, that is such a great tip, Jason. I didn't realize when you said the Netflix of that it was like a subscription in order to make the cost bearable.
Yeah. And I pay for it because I use so many of those apps. I use something called WhatsApp for being able to text with people and stuff from out of the country. They have a WhatsApp client called Chatmate that you could use that actually runs on your computer, so you can have it in its own little window and everything. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, click the link, Sherry, and then go take a look and see what their pricing is for that discount code. Well, Bridget, we actually finished, and I'm so glad you talked about FreshBooks for as long as you did, because we would have had about 10 minutes to sit there and talk about it.
And keep going on, because that's the thing is I like is it. Like I said, I have an accounting background. When I started my business, when I decided to start this business, I realized I have every skill that I ever needed came from all these crappy jobs. Like, trust your past. I know that sounds Eastern BS, feel good, whatever. But the truth is that there's this song by Rascal Flatts called God Bless the Broken Road. Mm-hmm. And it says, every long lost star was pointing to you or whatever. But it's just funny. Like, it was talking about as your love life, you have all these false starts, whatever, but they led you to this one person. And all of the things in your life, those skills all matter today, for next week, whatever. I spent a long time in accounting, and I'm telling you, I've used some piece of crap. So a lot of custom, I never had to use Peachtree or anything like that, but I used a bunch of accounting software that was all, because trucking we had our own special in construction, roofing had their own special. Everybody had their own special. And the thing is that you forget how, when you use the right tool, you save time. And the question is, if I'm charging $150 an hour, and it takes me more than an hour to do something that without Beaver Builder, is Beaver Builder worth it for $100? The answer is yes.
Yep.
And that's the way we need to start thinking as people with a side hustle, people with an agency, people who are freelancing. Your time is worth something. So start thinking about that as how much you cost yourself. And that's why FreshBooks is a no-brainer.
Man, look at the time. It's 8 o'clock Pacific. It's time for us to wrap up. Bridget, I want to say thank you very much for over these last 98 episodes of you hanging out with me and talking about all these goofy things that we talk about regarding social media stuff. And even back in the day when we were just doing Q&A stuff, we'll figure out something to do on our 100th episode, and it'll be a fun thing. So maybe wear a party hat or something like that. But we have a lot of stuff kind of planned out here for the next couple episodes regarding all the different social media stuff that's out there. So if you like this particular content and you want to share it with somebody else, click on the little share button. There's a share button on something that you're watching this on. If you're watching this on your TV or something like that, there's probably like a little like or share button on there as well. But share this out with people. We have people that watch this from all different walks of life, all different pieces of hardware and software that they look at this stuff on, and share it. We would really appreciate it. If you like this content, hit the little thumbs up button. If you're watching this on YouTube, definitely leave us a comment. Leave us a comment. Just say, hey, thank you for what you've done, or thank us for whatever. Leave us a comment. We would really appreciate it. And lastly, if you want to subscribe, no, it didn't. It didn't. So if you want to sponsor this show or any of the shows on the network, you can go over to WPwatercooler.com/sponsor, and you can learn about how you can sponsor this show. We do micro sponsorships as well, which means we'll mention your name and your product real quick at the very end of the show. But those are the types of things that you can do to help us out. And we do this as a free service, other than a couple of things of being able to do some affiliate links or something like that, which we obviously disclose and all those sorts of things. But we really appreciate you watching us and hanging out with us each week. That's about it, folks. Go over to our website, WPwatercooler.com/subscribe, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.